It's Thirsty Thursday. You're so thirsty, thirsty Thursday. Thirsty for knowledge, thirsty Thursday. Drink it up. Today I'm going to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew before I became a property manager. The first thing I'm going to share with you is something that I wish someone would have told me as a new manager, and so I do my best to share it with as many new managers as possible. When you start as a new property manager on a new site, whether it's your first time or you've been doing this for years, it takes about a year to really get your sea legs under you, to learn about the property, understand all the ins and outs, and really feel confident in that role that you really have a great understanding of everything that's going on. And it takes 2 years to get your team up to par and moving forward with you. And all of this happens as you are learning, growing, and trying to run the property. So show yourself a little bit of grace and allow yourself that 1 year period to learn it and the 2 years to get everyone else on board. The next thing that I wish I would have known before moving into a management position is that different people need to be rewarded differently. We're all unique individuals and there's different things that motivate us. And I know that many times in property management, we try to use lunch to motivate people, which can be very compelling. We try to use bonuses to motivate people, which can also be very compelling. However, there's so many different types of personalities and motivators out there that not one thing works for the entire group. And so that doesn't mean we have to offer multiple things every time, but what it means is we have to kind of mix up our bag. I know that I would spend my own personal time and money to try to do something nice for my team, and there would inevitably be one person who would say, oh, I don't like that, or that's not something that I do, or I'm allergic, or this, and it would crush me. I would just say, why can't you just say thank you? I'm working so hard to try to create a encouraging team environment, and this is what I'm getting back. But what I didn't understand is that I needed to reward people differently. And I really wish that I would have understood that earlier in my career. But as I started to learn that, it really changed the way I managed my teams. So I encourage you to learn what motivates your team members and start mixing up those rewards so that everyone can feel encouraged and motivated in their own way. And the last thing I'll share with you today is that I really wish I would have had a better understanding of how important an emergency plan is. And when I moved into a management position, we had a basic emergency plan in place, but it wasn't to the extent that it should have been. And I really wish I would have understood that a little bit more. I went through Hurricane Katrina, Gustav, several different hurricanes, through fires, flood, blood, all of that stuff. And understanding the importance of not only having the plan, but being sure that my entire team was trained. It's said that in an emergency, we revert back to our lowest level of training. And what that means is that if our team members haven't been trained, they'll just either do nothing or they'll do what they think might be best, but that might be detrimental to our reputation or to our company. So it's important that we have a good plan in place for all the different types of emergencies that might be possible. The National Apartment Association Certified Apartment Manager course is a great resource for really putting together a thorough emergency plan. And I wish that would have been something that I would have known ahead of time. It really would have saved me a lot of headaches and heartbreaks. But I think it's important that we understand, and especially right now during a pandemic, I think it's evident how important that emergency plan is. And most of us didn't have a plan in place for something such as this. And it just goes to show you that we really need to dive in deeper to emergency planning and make sure our team members are informed and they know what their role is, who's responsible, and what comes next. So, in case no one has told you, if this is your first time as a property manager, or maybe you've just been transferred to a new site, or maybe you've been in the business for years, but you've started in a new market, just give yourself some grace. 1 year to get your sea legs underneath you, 2 years to get your whole team on board. Remember that different people need different rewards, and as leaders, it's our job to know what motivates our team members. So that means having conversations, learning about them, watching how they react in certain situations, and not taking personal offense when someone doesn't respond to a reward the way we hoped that they would. And finally, get out that emergency plan and really comb through it. Do we really have a plan in place for all the different catastrophes that could possibly happen at or around our property? And does our team know what they're supposed to do, who they're supposed to call, and what resources are available to them?